We all love a good true crime story. The suspense, the twists, the armchair detective work. But when the episode ends and we move on to the next show, there are real families left behind, trapped in a nightmare where the cameras are off, but the killer is still out there. Take the 2008 Noida double murder. A 14-year-old girl, Aarushi Talwar, and the family's domestic worker, Hemraj, were both found dead. Overnight, Arushi's parents, Rajesh and Newport Talwar, became the center of a mystery that obsessed the entire country. Then look at the 2012 Sheena Bora case. This one had all the trappings of a high society thriller: extreme wealth, hidden identities, and family secrets involving Peter and Indrani Mukherjee. These two tragedies expose a pattern of failed forensics and television anchors who seize control of the narrative. When initial investigations fail and media dictates public perception, the courtroom is stripped of its power to deliver true justice. The legal system collapses. Any prosecutor will tell you that a case is won or lost in the first 48 hours, right behind the yellow police tape. If you don't protect the crime scene, you don't have a case. In Noida, the initial response was a disaster. The Talwar home was swarmed. Neighbors, media, and police officers walked freely through the apartment, thoroughly contaminating the physical environment before forensic teams could properly catalog a single footprint. The police then declared the missing domestic worker Hemraj as the prime suspect. They assumed he had fled, but they hadn't bothered to check the locked terrace of the very same building, where Hemraj's body was lying the entire time. The Sheena Bora investigation failed due to a systemic blind spot regarding missing persons. For 3 years after she was allegedly murdered in a car in 2012, no one officially treated Sheena as missing. Her mother, Indrani Mukherjee, had told the world that Sheena was actually her sister and had simply moved abroad. The Mumbai police only discovered the crime by pure accident in 2015. Indrani's former driver, Shamvar Rai, was arrested on an entirely separate weapons charge and started talking. Whether it's a destroyed apartment floor or 3 crucial years of missing time, these ground-level failures create an evidence vacuum. This chart illustrates how that vacuum gets filled. As the line for forensic facts flatlines, the 24-hour news networks step in to keep the audience hooked. They build an alternate reality out of rumor, completely taking over the narrative. For the Talwars, the media held its own trial. News anchors dissected the parents' body language and broadcast character assassinations, effectively convicting Rajesh and Newport in a court of public opinion, long before formal charges were ever filed. The Sheena Bora coverage was just as chaotic. The broadcasts abandoned forensic truth to feast on the family's wealth, power, and identity. But eventually, the cameras have to leave, and the real lawyers have to walk into a real court. And the law requires definitive proof. In 2013, a special CBI court convicted the Talwars, sentencing them to life in prison. The ruling, however, relied heavily on circumstantial theories, cobbled together after the initial crime scene was lost. 4 years later, the Allahabad High Court reversed that decision. They acquitted the parents based on the benefit of the doubt, making it clear that intense public suspicion cannot replace hard, physical evidence. The Sheena Bora trial is facing a similar legal quagmire. The Supreme Court has granted a timeline extension into 2026, and the prosecution is leaning heavily on the fragile testimony of the former driver. When you hand a judge a botched investigation wrapped in years of media hysteria, the system is paralyzed, forced to either delay indefinitely or acquit for a lack of proof, which leaves us with a haunting reality. If the Talwars are innocent, the person who murdered Aarushi and Hemraj is still walking free. And for Sheena Bora, we are still waiting for a definitive legal conclusion. The broader truth of these stories is that the elusive killers are only one part of the problem. The co-conspirators of this injustice are the incompetent initial police work and the news networks that turn a gruesome death into a primetime soap opera. Behind every shocking twist and dramatic headline is a real human being who lost their life, and their right to justice was quietly erased by the very system meant to protect them. So the next time a sensational crime dominates your screen, take a step back. Ask yourself, are you watching a genuine search for the truth? Or are you just consuming a manufactured script?